It's January 7th, 2024. I've had COVID for a week now. What a great way to kick off the new year. I don't know how well I'm going to record this. My voice starts to get a little difficult. I still have a cough. I may stop, but I'm going to record this anyway. Who knows if I'll end up publishing it. Oh, yeah, these are my OBS settings for the mic, and hopefully it'll help get rid of some of that low-end crap. Compressor, limiter, 3-band equalizer. This is the low thing, is mostly getting rid of the bubble. Do you hear it? Is it there? Is it there? Is it there? Is it there? And then I got a noise suppressor. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully that'll work. Do something. I cranked up the output gain a little bit to get the volume. I don't know if that's going to do anything. Anyway, whatever. Move on. Oh yeah, playing some music. CBL, The Path. The Path. Okay, let's get back to where we left off. So let's run the app. We got line sets stored as JSON, being kept as JSON, being copied to files, being read back from files. Working on this one task for a while, but it's a major rewrite of the way the original code works. So it always takes a while to punch into some completely new way of doing things. Okay, I uncommented this because I needed it, and I haven't rewritten it. So this is what needs to be rewritten. And yeah, background music. Should I crank it up a little bit? It's a little. I only think this first song's a little over the top, but I think the rest of it will be fine. We'll see. I've not listened to this Carbon-Based Lifeforms album before, so first time. That was my coffee. Coffee water. Okay, rehearsal. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. There we go. Scripts, and this one has line sets. We go into oop, 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 oop. Okay, we're going to disable some of these breakpoints. We don't. Whoa, wait a minute. Yeah, that's a fine. Yeah, these are all breakpoints that we need to deal with. All right, line set. No, they are. But it's just saying line set. There's no description because this stuff needs to be rewritten. Da, 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 da. Yeah, back to the title. So, yeah. So right here, line set, it should show the name, it should show the title, and it's not. So we're going to fix that right now. Okay, so let's uncomment this. Whoops. One of these days, I'm going to get Emacs/Vim set up so I don't have to use Xcode. But we have to use the debugger anyway. Okay. Rewrite this now. So this thing needs to be written. It's not going to work because line set is not a structure with a name display on it. Line set is an index dictionary. That's what this says. I don't want to do this on the. So basically, this is digging into the JSON to get an attribute. And if we look at the actual JSON, we're not debugging it yet. Yeah. We'll find these named attributes in there, these short 2-character names. So all I want to do is I just want to pull out the attribute from the JSON. But if I write it on just the iOS side, the Xcode in Swift or Objective-C, this is Objective-C, then that's not reusable for Android. So I want to do this on the Kotlin side. Rewrite the retrieval to go through the Kotlin object, and then that's available for Android. So line set is a dictionary right now. It's not actually even manifested anywhere in Kotlin because these things are being kept inside the script core data class. This is legacy code with all these domain objects sitting on the iOS side only, the legacy code. I think I just said that. Sorry, maybe a little slow. I think my coffee water needs to kick in. Where is all this stuff? Objective-C. Yeah, scene properties. I know I've probably already done this in the other videos, but I just need to refresh my brain here. Where did we put line sets? They are, actually, I think we made a function and then we stored them in the implementation, right? I mean, that's, yeah, that's scene. Oh, scene. It's not scene, it's script. Whew. All right, give me a moment here to try to catch up to scene here. There we go. Okay, so these are dynamic and core data properties. Pretty sure we have a method, and that main method is the one that pulls in that object. Where is it? Core data class, line sets. There we go. It's the method declared in the interface of script and then implemented in its implementation. And it uses a private internal member with an underscore, only declared under the implementation portion. There it is. Right, so this thing is sitting here already as an Objective-C collection and a member of an existing Objective-C object. None of the Kotlin code has any awareness or access to this. And it would be a lot of work to try to just move the whole thing over. So what's the best approach here? Well, ideally, it's funny, all those videos I did for NS Dictionary. All I really want is I want it to be in a Kotlin format so that I can use Kotlin functions to extract properties from it. It doesn't need to be in the actual Kotlin portion of the platform. It can stay here for now. I'm just trying to create common code at this point. I don't care where the object lives. So this needs to be compatible with a Kotlin type. So in the case of just a dictionary, let's take a look at our old Kotlin, shared header, which I think is down here somewhere. There it is. Yeah, this guy. So this is the Objective-C header generated from KMP for Kotlin abstractions. Let's go to this dictionary. Oh, that's interesting. Oh. It pulls in the type, but I don't see... That can't be right. It's not used yet. Okay, so NS string is all over the place. But if I go in its dictionary, oh yeah, I was cranking up the fonts, so I'm going to crank up the font on this guy. Every editor has a different set of keys to increase the font size. Tipo de letra. There we go. Command equals, not command plus. Shift, command equal. There we go. That big enough? That's a little big. Yeah. That's fine. Does that match? Is that 18? That's close enough. Just trying to make it easier for watching back on the video. So, anyway, So NS Dictionary, not used by anything, not declared by anything. So what is the mapping of NS Dictionary in the from Kotlin to Objective-C? Well, we could look up the documentation. We could ask chat Gippet, or I could just try to deduce it on my own. So we're going to open up our Android Studio. Let's see what we got. In terms of domain objects, we should have some pure stuff here. What is data script? So it's a data class. And Kotlin should have, instead of dictionary, of course, they use the term map. I've never liked calling a collection a map because map is such a common operation as far as transforming, is doing functional transformation. So map is a verb versus map is a noun. But even C++, it goes way back using map versus using dictionary. But I like, credit I'll give to Swift, or Objective-C/Swift, is dictionary is a better term. It's a series of named key value pairs where the keys are strings. And the values are any. Do we have this data script guy? Let's see. Data script. Yeah. And there we go, all of his members. So what if, so this, you can see this was copied from Swift code and just kind of pulled apart. This was done when I was creating, was doing testing, doing some stress testing on scripts. So I did need to create a Kotlin domain object here, but domain data structure. Let me clarify that. We're doing this in a functional way. These are not, I mean, technically it's an object, but it's never going to be something with meaningful methods bound to its state. The only purpose is this is a struct. Enough said. So why don't we just add line sets here and see what happens? I just want to see how it gets mapped. So value line sets. Inconsistent capitalizing. Well, see, there's where I added display name. Interesting. Title string. Actually, let's add this at the top. Actually, I'm going to add it at the very top. Because likewise, this specific data structure is going to go away as well. And I'm going to explain that at some point, someday, somewhere. Just not doing it now. So val line sets. Should it be all uppercase or line sets? Let's just be consistent. Where was this guy? Line sets. Is that the end? There it is. Okay, line sets. Sets. And we're going to make this a map. Not mutable. Of just string, comma. Do we have an any type in Kotlin? We do. I want to see just how this gets mapped. If this is what we're dealing with here. And we just say empty map. Yep. Plus that. It's giving me some kind of error indicator here. Is it not like? I don't know. Let's compile it. Let's use the internal emulator. Hard type is string. Oh, I can't replace that first. Yeah, right. This is actually being used. Yeah, this was being used only by testing to generate what's called, I'm calling fake scripts. I put these other attributes in there, but they're not being used. So kind of getting ahead of myself a little bit. Let's try that. All right. What does it look like? I think I have to reload this. Doesn't it get reloaded? Oh, I didn't compile for iOS, so it's not doing the header yet. Let's do iOS compile. I do believe the build script on this side is going to compile the pod where I pulled this header out of. The CocoaPod, yeah, there we go. Now, yep, now it's saying we need a new file. And it hasn't generated yet, so it's generate me. Still have this problem. Build. Okay. Load file. Come on. Huh. Load file, load file. Why isn't it giving me the updated file? I don't know. Oh, now I got to increase the size again. All right. So what do we get? In a dictionary with an NS string pointer and an ID, which is Objective-C's version of any, because Objective-C objects are any objects. They're not type enforced, right? Assuming that. Okay, I think that's gonna work. So let's make a function on this side. We don't really care about this. This was the only purpose of this was to see how it gets mapped. So these are going to be pure functions. Makes sense. And data script. I guess this would be data line set. Do we want to have it in separate files? I mean, we're assuming that we need separate files. Still kind of on the fence about how many files to organize things into. Line sets aren't really usable without scripts, or are they? Excuse my cough. The classic question in hierarchies: does the child know about the parent? And then we're talking about knowing, we're talking about type dependencies. Does the child know about the parent type? Does the parent know about the child type? Now, usually you would think from a container-contained relationship that the most direct relationship is the parent needs to know about the child, container needs to know about what it contains, but the contained thing doesn't need to know about its container. We do have these line scene objects on this side, so there's a relationship between scenes and lines. Let's make it a separate file for now. Let's do that. I'm just going to duplicate it using the Finder. There's probably a faster way to do it, but this is how I'm going to do it. Now we're going to call this data line set, prefixing all the data types with data. To clarify, it's the data. Okay. So all we're going to do, let's get rid of all this. We're not even going to make a data class here. That's not the goal. We're just going to make a function that, we're calling this data line set, which is going to be the collection of functions around a line set. So we're going to say data line set. And what do we want? The title. That's it. It's just a property extractor. And our data is going to be of, actually it's almost perfectly set up for us here. How do I have the simulator open? I don't need that. Oh, I think I was increasing, the font size over here. And I remember that under Android Studio, the font size increase is it a Command plus? No. Shift Command plus? No. Is Command Shift equal? No. There's some key shortcut that changes the font size. View. Okay, there it is. Yeah. Every editor has its own standard, of course. That's a shift. What is that? Weird shift. Oh, Control Shift. Dot. Of course, dot makes sense. Control Shift dot. There we go. I don't think I can change the size over there, but that's not as important. Okay. Data is it's a function, takes data, and this is our type. It's map string any, and we're simply going to return this type, string. Sounds pretty straightforward, right? Is it a colon? I'm jumping around languages so often I'm constantly forgetting. I think so, because the syntax, this arrow syntax is part of the lambda syntax, not the function syntax, which is dumb. You should have the same syntax. Lambdas are just anonymous functions. I think Richard Feldman in the Rock language was talking, somebody was talking about that, like we have one syntax for functions and lambdas. I'm like, yeah, that's good. We're doing the same thing in a BOA, so. Anyway, our function, and yep. It's pure function, perfect. Let's put this on one line. Actually, I don't even need the squirrelies. I kind of like, this is one of the things I do like about Kotlin. I can make a function literally look like a mathematical function. This equals that without the squirrelies. Unless I have to do a full block in here, which I don't think so. I think I'm just going to say data and what? Subindex in T. I don't know what it is exactly. Put this as a string. And this possibly can come, so we have a non-null string, good. Since this can possibly come back as null, I'm going to say equals, sorry, Elvis operator, no title. Should probably have some kind of standard for when things are not defined. I kind of like to put these sorts of things in angle braces, no title. So why is it not like that? Saying give me data at NT or give me no title. String, it's a string. Tell me why. Tell me why. What's wrong with that? Compilation error. Type mishmash. What? Oh, I got to do an as. Right. As. String. It's an any. It's this dictionary could be any types. Yeah, great. Look at that. Makes sense. Good. Look how simple that is. Well, we don't know that it works, but I don't know if NT is the correct one. There is documentation in the JSON for line set, I believe, that will tell us that, which we moved into the dead folder. There we go. So title is display name, TN. Did I say right? I think I said NT. Let's go ahead and copy this over so we know what we're looking at. Okay. Let's just say documentation purpose from legacy Objective-C. Yeah. So here we're going to say tn, display name. Why is it tn? Well, probably because n, s for sort number, l for lines, c for created, m for modified, and d for date. I'm not changing any of that. That is the JSON API backend, so we're using it as is. So data line set title. Okay, good. Okay, data set line title is in data line set. Got it. So now, where I need it, let's go back to where I needed it. Nope. Nope. I don't remember. Let's just run it. Hit our breakpoint again. It's in one of these view class things that I have up here. All right. Not that guy. There it is. Line C and header cell. Okay. Yeah. So title label. If we have a line set. Okay, good. We're going to say data line set function. Do we call it title? It's not what it is, though. It's name. And we don't need to call it display name. I mean, there isn't a non-display name, so why don't we just call it name? Let's call it name. Yep. That's obviously not going to compile. I mean, it's not going to compile because I just changed it. Rebuild. Okay, good. Data line set name. Name versus title. Same difference. Line set. This is a function. And we got a ternary here because we're going to say empty set. Oh, that is that the line set doesn't exist. So there's two different things. One, if the name isn't there, this is going to tell us no name. Not title, no name. All right. Okay. Good. This is if we came in here and the line set's not even here. So this is a UI code basically showing that I didn't get a set. I was expecting something and I didn't get it. So we should get an error here because it's not going to find this function. In order to find this function, we need to have an import statement to pull in that function. Implicit declaration. Also, this is Objective-C code. This is the same problem. We're going to have to go through the facade. Can't just call Kotlin functions. Or can we? Actually, since Kotlin is generating just the Objective-C header, why do I have to go through a facade? I'm confused about that. I'm sure there's a reason, or I wouldn't have gone through all the trouble to write the facade. But, Okay, let's see if I can remember the right command. I think it's equals. Yeah. I can change my Vim settings to give a different font, but I'm still using regular font size on when I'm not doing videos. All right, data line set name. Oh, this is going to be do. It's going to be like do data line set name. No. Objective-C subclassing restricted. It creates an interface. And I can't just call an interface. But there's the type I was looking for. I guess I could have done this straight in the function without having to do that data script thing before like I did. Yeah, I have to go. I mean, even though this is something I can use from Objective-C, this is an interface to some singleton that's going to provide the binding to the freestanding function here. So, this is torturous. This is going to be interim, obviously, because eventually this code here will be replaced at some point. I don't imagine wanting to write a facade operation for every single property of every single thing, but we'll do that for now and deal with the boilerplate overhead. It starts to become out of hand. So our shared facade, yeah, imagine there being a function for every data type in here. I mean, that's the argument for trying to make them, to try to objectify them by propertizing them on some kind of surrogate class. But that just brings a whole lot of its own baggage with it. The reality is we now have a reusable function that can say, look, pass me any effectively JSON, and I will find this as the name of a data line set if it exists in there, which could be useful. I do not need a Swift version. This is not an app mutant. Shared facade. Maybe I don't need to do this through the shared facade. Well, I don't like mixing effectful operations, effectful procedures here with pure functions. That I don't like. This is a call to a pure function on Kotlin. I'd rather keep them separate. These are all effectful. These all deal with app mutant. Right, you can see that here. It's all app mutant stuff. Because it's I/O. It's effectful. It's side effectful. Huh. I do have to make a Swift declaration for this to work. But I can do it on the pure side. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to put this underside because it's pure. So what do we got on this side? We've got a data line set, main pure, common pure. Let's call it the same thing. And then we'll actually have a data line set object with a method that calls a function. So it will look object-oriented to the Objective-C. The Objective-C can be happily object-oriented. Okay, so there's our fake script. Let's do this. And we're going to call it data line set. So we are effectively making a class declaration. And I like the symmetry. On the Kotlin side, we don't have a data structure because it's a dynamic dictionary. But it's going to interpret values in the dictionary as effective properties on this data structure. Members of the data structure. Elements of the data structure. Attributes of the data structure. Properties of the data structure. Yeah, good. I like it. Data line set. Under pure. Finish. And instead of having that, we're going to copy this facade. We do need the same import, but we do not need to make these Swift equivalent functions for now. We can add them when we need them. Okay. we're pulling in Rasha. Good. It's not going to be called shared facade. It's going to be called data line set facade. It's still a facade. Do I need facade? It's not really a facade. It's more of an adapter, I think. I'm just going to call it data line set. I think we'll be okay. What happened there? Okay. Good. And again, the name of the function was, now it was data line set name, but since we have to create a class anyway, all we're really doing is we're just saying name. It's already scoped under data line set, so I think we can do that. And now where it gets interesting, we say NS dictionary. Actually, should we use the Swiss syntax of string any produces a string? I have a feeling this isn't going to map. Let's see what happens. And now this is where we call the Kotlin provided function, which the way this works in Kotlin, to simply call standalone functions, you put data line set kt dot and data line set name. But I didn't, it's weird. I didn't see that. Oh yeah, this is the way. I didn't see data line set kt in. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's right. Rasha. The auto magic stuff is going to put this prefix there. So it's data line set kt dot data line set name. God, there's so much name procedure, function, signature, translation going from Swift to Objective-C, from Objective-C to Kotlin Multiplatform. It's like 3 jumps, 3 hops through which semantically the exact same thing has to be restructured, renamed. Not just that, the naming conventions, having the do prefix, having the first parameter name embedded in the function name. It's just the awkwardness. It's going to be really nice to replace this at some point with single language across platforms that's just consistent. And I don't have to do that, but that's not happening today. So data line set name, and we need the data. And in Swift we got we got the parameter name and the argument name. Right? This is the parameter name, and the name visible to the caller. This is the argument name, the name visible to the implementation. Data. I'm going to guess that it's not going to compile. It's going to have some kind of conversion thing. Let's go to where we're using it. Here we go. Where were we? Well, let's just compile and watch it crap out. There's going to be some naming, typing collision. Oh, yeah. Data, named parameters. Yeah, I had to form a strong opinion for myself on what I think about name parameters. Okay, data, right. So this I'm saying data line set and then name. right? This is what the signature will look like to Objective-C. Does that work? What? No. You're going to be kidding me. Be really impressed if this works. I know it seems so trivial, right? I mean, we're just getting an attribute out of a block of data so we can show it on the screen. But the amount of wrangling that's necessary to get there, it's really unjustifiable when you think about it. From the end user's point of view, can you just show me the name of this thing on the screen? Oh yeah, we've got to go down and dig for it and map types and remap this and bridge across language boundaries and oh my God. There's got to be a better way. So I can get rid of this breakpoint. Just want a breakpoint right here. That was that one, right? You don't need this to be enabled. Here we go. Will it work? I don't know. Look at that. Okay, I can now tap myself on the back. What an accomplishment! But it validates the idea, right? It validates the idea. I don't need an ORM mapped domain object class in Objective-C or Swift and then have to have database stuff on both sides. I get a block of data from the backend, which is a line set. It comes as JSON, gets automatically converted to a dictionary, and I can just get its information, its values, right? This is not state because it doesn't change. It's mutable. It's values. I can get its values, its attributes, by just writing simple functions. I mean, look at that. Simple function. That's it. No class definition stuff. Yeah, all the bridging crap had to be written. Yeah. Cool. I feel vindicated. I feel validated. Nice. Yeah. How long of a recording do we have here? Should that be enough for now? 43 minutes. It's not too horrible of a thing to watch. I probably won't keep recording. I will keep this one short. And I only coughed once. That's kind of a good sign. I was coughing a lot yesterday. This is my 7th day with COVID. It actually started on January 1st. And I'm at the end of it. So now I just got some fluid in my lungs and some hacky coughing, plus coffee water, which I'm drinking. Yeah. This is an accomplishment because originally I went down the path of I need to get SQLite set up on both sides, on the Android side and on this side, on the iOS side, and we're going to have to configure all that and map, like all this work, and realizing, do I need that? This is a real lesson in Yagni. You ain't gonna need it. Don't put it in there. And yeah, I feel like I made a smart choice here so far. I could definitely slam into a wall, but you know, as much as these videos have been in a long road getting here, I can now build up some momentum doing this. You can see how easy this is to do. And this is going to start working, so I feel pretty good. I'm about ready to cough, so okay. Second cough for the video. Yeah, I got to stop talking. Oh, third cough. So hopefully, whatever, if you're watching this, and obviously you are, you wouldn't be hearing what I'm saying, in whatever tough decisions and struggles and unnecessary work you may feel like you end up doing or having to do or realize you didn't need to have to do. I wish you the best of luck. Bye-bye.